Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to today's stream. I almost had all of my things say we're live, but things happened. I just have to post it in 2 more places.
You need a longer intro.
I do. I will make it.
Don't mind me as I look down at not my phone posting this to Twitter.
At not your phone.
Yeah.
I would have been like set to go, but my cat had apparently stepped on my keyboard and erased some of my pre-planning on the other things. So I was like, cat, why? It was so rude. Very rude.
Cats, man. Catman do.
Catman.
I have my
Catman.
I may in fact have to kick her out because it's been so long since I've been in the garage den. She has no chill.
I thought you were talking about me for a minute. I was like, I just got here.
You're like, you invited me last minute. What do you mean you're kicking me out?
Yeah, she's like, I just showed up. What?
I invited you
misbehaved
here.
So much. I'm being kicked out already.
Yes.
I invited you here just to kick you out as a weird power move.
As a weird. Wait a second.
No real reason behind it.
I think our nails match.
Mine are black and purple.
Mine are purple. Mine are black and purple too.
Yeah. Mine are black and purple. Oh man, mine are purple and black. I guess we don't match.
Dang. All mine are black except for this one, which is purple.
I have 2 purple.
All of mine are black except these 2. The 2 rings, they're purple. Oh, look at us. The heavens put us together.
So about that, our dear CB is feeling unwell today. We don't know if it was a mishap at assassin training or what, but instead we have our lovely Jess here today. No. Look you. Look. I love you. You're the patron saint of the stream, but I will kick you out of this room.
Round of applause.
You need to come. Yeah, see, she's being threatened now. She's like, no.
No, mother. Mother, no.
So mean about that. Dun, dun, dun. Hello.
What had happened was my aside. I'm joking. Could you imagine?
A new page for the lore page is just...
It's just a whole lot of
start a Milanote for it instead of a wiki.
Yeah.
And then eventually it'll get moved to a wiki. They're like Cody's faction. I log into Milanote one day and there's just a bunch of scribbled comments between all of the apprentices.
Yep. And then there's the nut war over peanut butter.
Just tons of photos of peanuts and bread.
Just flying around and Sam just walks in.
A random fox photo in the corner.
And then there's a banana just swirling about for no reason. It's like, okay.
Why the banana? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. There's just a banana. And no one knows where it came from. No one's claiming the banana.
I just saw the viewers go from 5 to 7 right as we were like, why the banana?
Why the banana?
Everybody gets to hear that. Hello,
lovely sound bit.
Lovely sound bit. So, I don't remember if you two were in chat last week when I was talking about how Fox had suggested that if I have time and energy, just doing a fun little clip out of the streams and then putting it together for highlights of the month. And I would totally put the banana in there.
Yes, banana.
Hello. Yes, I did just put the banana. See, yes. I think somebody did.
Jenna gets it.
Bananas.
She felt it. She's like, ooh, bananas. I'm on my way.
I hate bananas.
I have many friends who hate bananas. It's fine. More banana for me.
More
Nobody take that out of context.
I was going to say we will fight over the bananas. That's going to be even worse.
So Chris had actually really wanted to guest because he really wants to do a live stream with you, Cody. So I might have to prioritize that next week. He has troll plans, though, so don't get too excited.
Oh, I'm real excited. Chris, let me in.
Oh, he's even
Chris,
more
let me in. I will DM him right now. Chris, let me in.
No, you can't know the surprise. It's a surprise.
Oh.
I'm mildly allergic to bananas. Now in that Milo note that doesn't exist yet, there's just gonna be like bananas in the no bananas.
Bananas yay, bananas
Bananas nay. The
just everybody puts their
wars.
like check marks on their own side, but you don't know whose check mark belongs to.
So it's just a wild goose hunt.
I have to be like, everybody gets the color code. No one's allowed to use multiple colors. All right, we've been here for about 6 minutes, so go ahead and do your intros.
Hello, hi. I haven't done this in a minute, so give me a hot second. Okay, hello, hi, everybody. My name is Cody Keller. I'm a gay creator, makes gay shit. Straight people have had it too good for too long. I am a gay creator. I make a lot of gay things. I make everything I can gigs. Why not? I'm currently working on my debut album, which is werewolves and shit, where what happens when a werewolf hunter clan finds a werewolf in their mix. And other things. You can follow all my socials down below, where I navigate social media and figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Hello, hi. Come for the ride. It's wild around. And bananas. I like
Said
bananas.
you were a straight creator?
Gay creator. Did I say straight? Oh, no. Oh, no. I was going to say
gay like 12 times, Cody. I was just fucking with you.
I mean, if you can't tell, I don't.
See?
I don't know.
But Cody, do you make gay things?
I don't know. See, it's hard to decide what I want to make. There's so much.
Are we done?
Right.
Yes.
You can have a turn now.
I don't want a turn.
You have to take your turn.
Okay. Hello, friends. My name is Jessica. I have a YouTube channel where I post writing, reading, and planner-related things, and book-related things. And I got asked to be here about 20 minutes ago, so hi. That's all I got.
All right, I finally made my checklist, so let's see how well this goes. Hello, I'm Writing Mom Samantha Nasset. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writing parent things. On Mondays, I host live streams like this where we talk about whatever I want to talk about. This week, we're talking about the pre-writing stage with all the planning and the whatnot of the writing process. When I am able to post videos, I post them on Thursdays, which are about writer things, parent things, or writer parent things, and any other random things that I enjoy talking about, including my chronic illness, because I have chronic migraines and they give me brain fog and chronic fatigue, and that's why I'm no longer doing weekly videos. But it's okay, because live streams fuel me to get through the rest of the week. If you would like to read a sample of my writing to see that I am not, in fact, just full of shit, you can read Till Pizza Do Us Part on my website, SamanthaLNasset.com. And while you're there, if you would like to keep up to date with all things Sam, you can sign up to my newsletter. If you like what I do here, you'll like all the things, you could help support me by donating to my Ko-fi.
Give Sam money.
And today... I already told you what we're talking about. Cool, we're good. I got it. I remembered all the things because I made a list. Also, like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Don't mind me as I add that in, and to my checklist. I know I was forgetting some. I've made a checklist now. So let's check out chat real quick. Did CB? We don't know. It's allegedly they might have taken her out. She wasn't feeling good, so Jess is joining us last minute. Fox,
I mean, I was gonna be here anyway, like just here with the camera off.
Might as well turn it on and hop on in.
Yeah, why not?
Math Assassins. It might be. See, Who
So,
can be that's as good as the confession to me. Although Cody did say he may allegedly be building his own army. Matt, watch out.
what? Who would do that?
Not me.
Crunchy peanut butter. Just is like, I'm too lazy for that.
Mm-mm.
Except I'm on CB's team. And I'm see, so Matt's or maybe Cody's assassins took CB out and just came in her stead.
It would have to be Cody's because it wouldn't make
did.
sense for Matt's to go after CB and not after me as like a backup plan because I'm closer.
But because
so,
he's
like-
trying to convert you to his side.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In case I'm pretty sure I did, but in case I didn't, you can sign up to my newsletter to keep up to date with all things Sam at my website while you're there. I might have, because I saw it on my checklist, but I may have got distracted by something else.
I think I may have heard it when you mentioned Till Pizza doing its part, but I
Somebody
could just be hallucinating.
Go on the playback. We need to know. CV's silence on the giving Sam money front is deafening. I'm just saying. She's sick. Leave the girl alone.
The poor
My
baby.
assassins. I mean, my apprentices, definitely not being trained to be assassins, are allowed a sick day.
When that popped up, I read it as giving Sam money fruit. And I was just like, why the fuck does Sam get money fruit? Where's my money fruit? I want fruit made out of money. Like, where's
Are you
mine?
teaching people how to be ancient immortals, Jess? That's why I get the money. If there was money fruit, but there is no money fruit, so we're just all sad and lonely.
It's alleged money fruit.
Alleged money.
Alleged. It's allegedly fruit. It's allegedly money.
Immortal fruit.
Fox says my apprentices are being trained to be sellouts. Look, we have no shame on this channel.
No. What shame? What is that?
All right, so we're getting so our first talking point we're going to address today is what is the pre-planning or pre-writing stage? Like, what all does that entail? Which I did not make any notes on that part. And that's probably the part I should have written a definition for down. But I mean, it's also kind of just self-explanatory. It's the part where you get like all the creativity down, you start doing all the ideas, figuring all the shiz out before you start drafting. On her deathbed.
She's just laying there, just give some money.
So I'll go ahead and I'll talk about how I start my pre-planning or pre-writing process. I can't talk today. And for me, I normally start with, I can hear myself, so I'm echoing somewhere.
I don't hear an echo.
Let me turn this down, see if it was me. Do I hear me echoing from me? All right. Yeah, so I normally start with just a source of inspiration for whatever inspired a story or the story idea. So like a prompt, a word, a song, a feeling, and then I let it ruminate in my head for a little bit, and then I get everything down in what is called a thought dump. How do you two start? How does chat start? Where's your step 0?
So for me, mine. So just as a little into the backstory in my brain, I have 15 boards of just different ideas, just so you can get a grasp.
The thought dumps
of different, just different ideas, and then there's the writing shorts, where there's another 6. So I have a lot of ideas. Mine usually start when I'm like, you know how like when you're driving, you just kind of dissociate for a while. Or you're just like going about your day and your brain just turns off.
I try not to disassociate when I'm driving. It causes me a lot of anxiety, but I'm picking up, putting down. Go on.
Yeah, but it's like when you're showering, you have shower thoughts. That's
Yes.
usually where mine are. It's just like, I'll just be going about my day and it's just like a little movie playing off in my head. For my most recent idea, it was literally just like a scene just played in my head. I was like, oh, in my mind's eye, I could just see the scene playing out, and I'm like, I have to write this down. I have to get this idea down. I think I like it. Because then my brain will start to ask, who are these people? Why are they here? What's going on here? How did they meet? Who are these other people around them? And then it just branches off and goes from there. Then I get ideas within ideas and other ideas. And just, whew, it's fun time.
Do you want to go where you start, Jess?
I typically have ideas like in the middle of the night. Like I'll wake up and I have an idea and I will very drowsily write it on a notepad. And then the next day of deciphering my own hieroglyphics of what I actually wrote on a piece of paper in the middle of the night while I was half asleep into a OneNote document where I keep all of my little like clips and bits and pieces of things. It's where I keep all the things. And sometimes I just filter through and see if anything works with anything that's already going. Because I have like 30 stories going at all times.
So Jenna starts with sacrificing an insult to the Dark Lord Krog in return for a morsel of story fuel.
I should start doing that too.
Personally, something always hit me like a lightning rod and it gets fleshed out in seconds. Then my thought dump sort of builds. I think that's a better way to say what I was trying to think. Can y'all believe I had a clear head yesterday and I knew exactly everything I wanted to say today? And now
I also think, this is a clearer way of saying what I was trying to say too.
I try to beat back the new ideas with the base. There is a little bit of this too, so I can focus on my current projects.
Yes.
In reality, I thought dump.
Well, because if you
renewable energy,
if you don't do a thought dump to get rid of the things that are in your brain, then
it'll just
you're not gonna get to the stuff. Like you can't get back to your current project.
Yeah,
like doing all of this stuff.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys think in words or think in like a visual, because I know some people. Because like me, I literally in my head it's just like a movie. Or scenes just playing.
I think in the abstract. So just concepts, not really words or images. I think it sounds so pretentious when I think in the abstract.
Well, actually,
I'm above words and images. But no, that's just the only way I can really describe what's going on up there.
Yeah. Because that's usually how mine is.
I tell my fictional characters that totally exist to leave me alone so I can write a story that makes them look better than they actually are. Everyone wins. All right, so for those who... I have two screens and I just saw myself on the... Anyway, I got tripped out by myself for a moment. So some of the notes I have here are just like, there's no wrong or right way to begin a thought dump or the idea stage. This is probably like the most individual and specific part of the writing process because it's all just like focused on how you process your creativity and how you process just your thoughts and your ideas and what makes your... I was going to say your ticker tick, but that is a heart. But you know what? We're going to go with that too.
It makes your thinker think.
Yes, your thinker be thinking. Now, I will show some screenshots of like some of my thought dumps or my Milo note. And one thing that one may notice is that they lack images or photo references, which I've, after interacting with a lot of other creatives, found is actually kind of weird. But it's, I think it's in part just because I don't have images in my head and I don't have those photos and stuff. So that's not really gonna help my thinker think.
Which is funny because I recently added images to mine, like to all my locations. Like I spent 4 hours editing a map. And now I'm just like, I have so many more ideas. I can now visualize where everything goes. Holy crap.
Yes. So I think it can go like either way because of the things. I lost my sense. But yeah, so here's some of my current thought dumps in my Mila note, which, yes, there are things that go here, but they were not relevant, so I moved them for this screenshot. And then, which one are you? Oh, okay. And
I have
then for
important
like,
questions.
yes, what's your questions?
Is Good Witch, Bad Bitch a biography of my life?
No.
It's a biography of mine, actually. We just didn't want to tell you.
You know what? That makes sense. All right.
We just didn't want to let you know.
So
So I had
funny
to find out
fact,
this way.
that was actually the one that I was pulling up. So the way Good Witch, Bad Witch came about was I actually had an idea for the intro. So I wrote out the intro, and it's in long form. This is just a screenshot, so I can't actually click on anything. But this is like the whole intro to how I wanted the story, the prologue, the beginning part before chapter 1 to start. And then I have a bit of chapter 1, and then here's some like important plot stuff that I want, some little interesting tidbits. And then I went, and for this story, I had character vibes. Like I knew how I wanted my characters to go, and I only have a rough idea for the plot. But so like for this thought dump, that's what you see. And because of the way I work, you see it in the order of which I thought of it. I thought of the intro, then I worked out some plot things, and then I wanted to get down what I had of the characters in my head. And I got some quotes in here because I thought of some fun things I wanted them to say. Sorry, I'm amused by my own quote because you drink pumpkin spice lattes. What do you mean you make potions? There's context for it that makes it more amusing to me. And then with this one, it actually started with a song, and the song gave me character vibes. And then, so after I put the song in there and I got the character vibes, there were little scene bits that I would get stuck in my head listening to the song and stuff. So I put out the scene bits, and then I started fleshing the plot out. And then here's more random tidbits and a whole ass outline. And yes, I know I'm putting this on the internet and anybody could pause, but I also don't care. Nobody can write it the way I can write it. So fucking whatever. But yeah, so those were some examples of like how I work with my thought dumps and Mila note.
Oh, mine is both the same and different.
Go on.
Okay. I was gonna try to be like, oh, I should share this, but like, I can share it and tell you the same. It's the same thing. So for mine, it's literally just like if I have in my thought dump, I have like conversations. Like if there's a conversation between two characters, but there's not a scene yet wrapped around them, I'll just put that in its own little section. And I just have scenes. Like I have titles for scenes where it's like the first day, the ball, because I want to have a ball scene, like a first date scene. Confessions of the past, and just whatever goes in that scene just goes there. So it's like each scene has their own title. Yes. So then I can basically be like, yes, these two go right next to each other, so they should be next to each other. Oh, these two are like rough. Like this happens in the first part of the book, so I can move them around.
Yeah, and the fun thing about thought dumps is you can literally, like, I know mine are very because that's just how my brain process works. Yeah. But I have sometimes just like when I'm trying to get everything out, I just throw things down and then I just like throw a note over there. Or when I used to do it on a notebook, I would like write something in this corner and then write something in that corner. And then it was a jumbled mess of all over the place before I went through and I organized my thought dump better.
Or if I have like a vibe for a scene I want to do, but I don't have like the full scene yet. Like I have one where it's just like a character's first shift. And it's literally just like a 2-sentence of like his first shift. This person helps him. And then it's just like, that's it. That's all I got for right now. But I know I want this in here. I'll get more ideas later. But it's just so that part is out. Because I know I'll ruminate on that little bit for like weeks. I'm like, no, you got to get out of here, bud. And some are just empty. Like I have one that says wolf teaching. I know what scene I want with it. I just don't have any notes in there yet.
Just haven't written it down.
I just haven't written it down, but I know what it is. Because sometimes I have like thoughts of thoughts of a scene, but every time I attempt to write it down, it just goes away. Like, oh, goodbye. So that's fun. It's a fun time.
We look forward to having you here while you are here. Get your
Yes.
stuff done you need to get done.
Yes. And let us dulcet tones soothe you as you do it.
Was there anything you wanted to add to it, Jess? Or
I think I'm like so hyper organized. Like I have I don't have just like a thought dump for notes. My notes are categorized in different folders. Like I have a folder of just lists of things that has like 10 different folders inside that folder, and a folder for backgrounds that has like different society and history and family trees, and then a folder of just notes that has different notes in it. And like
so
I have all the folders.
I still have folders like that for some of my like older thought dumps and stuff. Then I converted to Milanote, and I was just.
Oh my god, I love this app so much.
But
I love it.
But I love the folders and the folders.
I have boards within boards.
Do Milanote for something less involved, but like for my adult high fantasy, there's not enough organization in Milanote for my brain, or not enough streamlined organization.
I get that. It's
because I have to like scroll and search for things, whereas like just having like tabs and folders.
That is the one downside. I agree.
Yes.
That's why I don't draft in it.
Or like
my notes are categorized because I am extra.
I wish. They're just all over the place. Or sometimes I'll run into an instance where it's like, I have shortcuts to certain boards, like say a character profile. So I have all my characters in one board that's somewhere else. That way it's like, I can quickly reference this character or connect them together, etc. But then in my board for my work in progress, I have a shortcut to that board. And sometimes it just won't let me edit it. So I have to go the long way around back to the original board. And I'm just like, I just want an easy way to edit you, buddy. I just want to add 2 things. I don't want to go on a scavenger hunt.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
I will say, if you like the way that Milanote, like the
links things,
the system, but something that is more like writing friendly, the campfire system.
I have that. I have campfire.
I don't love it because it's too.
It's I didn't like it either. Yeah.
I haven't tried the new system yet, though, so I have no thoughts on the new system.
I'm just hoping that Milanote updates to be more, right, as you said, writerly friendly in that, because like they're slowly working on things. And like recently I just got a survey in my email that was like, what do you write on Milanote? How can we help you? And I was like, tears.
Let me tell you how you can help.
Let me tell you how you can make it better. I need things. Yeah. Also, everybody share like what systems you use. Do you use folders of folders? Do you use physical folders, binders? Do share, because like I said, thought dumps could be in literally anything. I just kind of converted Jess and Cody to Milanote for some things. So we're Milanote Pro here, but as like Jess just said, she prefers to use folders of folders of folders for her thought dumps and writing stuff,
which is perfectly valid and a-okay.
I love it. Like I said, I still have folders of folders of folders for things.
My handwriting's atrocious, so Milanote is just, I will literally just put on voice to text, blah blah blah. Shoop.
As I look over at what we did in the Milanote.
Yeah, see.
All right. In all seriousness, though, I pantsed the first draft of my first half of my book way back in 2007, 10 years ago. Later, I wrote several ideas down and I rearranged them into a coherent second half. Cool. You can have one. All right. What are the differences between pre-planning for your novel / short stories versus social media content, videos, newsletters, posts, etc.? We will touch on the last part a little bit, but I don't want to focus on it too much because I want these are going to be the like writing process let's talks. So, but we will touch on them, I suppose. Sorry, my child was distracting me. So the difference between like planning for a story and for social media for me is there's none. I do an outline, like I don't have to thought dump. Okay, there's a little. I don't have to thought dump for like my newsletter or my social media. I just kind of outline it. I decide what topics I want to talk about, and I make little bullet lists, and then I write those. I script out my videos, and my first draft of my newsletter is generally it, with like minor tweaks and editing.
I feel like the difference, like if we're like explaining it in the clearest of terms, would be like if you're doing a novel or a short story, you are figuring out what you're going to write. And when you're pre-planning for like videos, newsletters, etc., you're planning out what you're going to write. Like,
I think
you're reminding yourself.
I think the biggest difference too is like, because like I said, for me, the process is pretty much the same, but like the concept of them is, one is creative writing and the other one is essentially nonfiction.
Informative.
So it's like the style of writing and the actual content and everything is very different, but the process of going about, like, the social media is just like I outline, I write, I'm done. So, but for pre-plan, I guess I will retract my statement. They are very different, but only because there's so much more for the novels and the short stories. Because it's like apples to oranges a little bit.
Yeah.
Somebody has a classy keyboard. I don't know who that is.
I wonder. Yeah, Mylan note. I use composition books and paper, mate, Inkjoy, gel pens, and a bazillion colors. Oh yeah, love
Jealous.
I just word vomit into my notes app on my phone. Makes it easy to chunk an idea in there the second I have it. Nice.
I use Google Keep. I use so many different things. It depends.
I need different things because, like, I'll be thinking of one thing and then I'm like, oh, but I want to remember this note. So then I need that note over there, not in the middle of this other thing I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
I have binders full of stuff for my adult fantasy that has been moved to OneNote. Sweet. I hope that we explained it well, because my stance completely 180'd by the time I was done answering my opinion.
I have an important question.
Yes.
What color is this to you?
Forest green.
I would have to agree.
What color is it to you?
Yeah,
like,
what color is it to you, man?
In real life,
yes.
It's almost the exact same color of blue as the blue box under our names.
Yeah.
I just held this up to be like, but I use Post-it notes a lot in case
It's Mountain Dew green.
It's not though.
That's fascinating though.
I'm so freaked right now.
That is weird. Your camera is just like, you want it to be blue? Yucca.
No, now I'm like finding all. This is blue.
So you have a green filter.
Yeah.
It's all your blue green, but only your blue. See, chat also agrees. They are agreeing.
Yeah.
Sorry, chat. Let's talk blue.
It's been derailed because Jess is losing it.
Right, so I actually took pictures of my composition books notes and created an album of them in Google Photos. I was terrified of the books. Oh yeah, that's actually. It's a yellow filter. Yes, it's adding a yellow tint to everything.
Now I'm looking for something green to see if it's green.
It turns purple.
Yeah.
It's green. I'm so lost.
Justice World got turned upside down.
Oh god.
Okay, so
Anywho.
Sorry, I just got like real lost there. I never realized that's blue.
So for short versus long, so who here? Because you have paper in the background that looks yellow. Okay, that's why she says it's a yellow filter. All right, so who here? Who here write, like, what kind of fiction do you write? Is it long form or short form? For those who might not know, what short form is, that's like flash fiction, short stories.
I kind of do both.
Small things that's not a novel. All right. I also do both. Jess, what do you do? Just
I don't remember what the question was.
Do you write short form fiction, long form, or both?
I have only written one short story, and it's only like outline form currently, but everything else is like long fiction.
Okay. Because the next point or talking point that I have is pre-planning short fiction versus long fiction, which isn't going to be a very riveting point if I'm the only one answering it. I mean, I find myself entertaining, but it's supposed to be interactive.
I mean,
but it seems like a couple people do both as well. So, and you're in the middle, you're in the pre-planning process of a short story.
You're
so
not
it's
wrong.
perfect. It's perfect. Right, so is there a difference in y'all's process for the long or short, or is it like just the same?
So for me, my short
Another
story,
bofer.
My short story process is kind of just literally like the first draft is the dump. I will literally just have a scene, I'll just play it out, and then I'll go back and revise it.
Yep.
I don't really pre-plan it. I just kind of get it all out, and then because it's usually just like a scene or two, maybe, and then it's just like, okay, cool. The scene is completely out of my brain. I give it like 4 days, and then I go back and I'm like, okay, it's time to edit this bitch.
So you basically pants a draft as your thought dump, and then go back and make any like of the major changes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Although if it's like from a prompt, I usually just like go with what's the first idea in my brain, and then like pants it, and then go back and edit it.
Yep, same. No pre-planning, no real pre-planning.
Candy says her process is pretty similar. For me, it depends. If I have a prompt, I might outline the basic idea of where I'm going with it. But a lot of times my shorts or something are inspired by a song, and then I will write it out with the song playing on repeat, or I will thought dump a short the same way I thought dump a novel, just less intensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need everything for the short that I do for my novel.
Right. Yeah, and then sometimes they start out, like most things in the writing process, the way it started and the way it ended are two totally different stories. They're two totally different beasts.
But it's not usually true for my flash fiction, but it can be true for some of my scenes in my longer form.
Oh god, like, whew. Yeah, especially my work in progress. My first idea is completely like almost completely eradicated. So I'm like, it was a good idea for my launching point, but now that I'm further in, I'm like, ooh, that wouldn't have worked.
That's one of the fun things about thought dumps. You put literally all the ideas in the thought dump, just all of them, and then you go back, and sometimes you're like, oh yeah, that was a really good idea, and then other times you see a thing and you're like, was I inebriated? Did I not sleep for 4 days? Why is this there?
Who snuck into my office and left that down trying to mess with my head?
Yeah.
Who left that note?
Although I don't have a trash for all my notes, I have a recycling bin. That's a board where it's like any idea I don't like, I just chuck it in the recycling bin. Because
I'm a very brutal bitch. I'm like, no, you gotta go, and I just delete the fucker out.
Well, I mean, sometimes I like the idea, And I'm like, maybe it could spark a different one. Other ones, I'm like, oh, you're garbage. You're out. Goodbye. Get out of here. No one likes you.
Cody's like, I'm a little softer. I'm like, there might be hope for you.
Yeah, there's some where I'm like, oh, okay, I could see you working somewhere else. And there's others I'm like, oh, I can't see you working anywhere, buddy. Goodbye.
I have like a folder in each project has a folder that's like old versions, and that's where all the old stuff goes that no longer works for the story.
I will keep a version of like a draft, and then I will go to start editing a new draft, and it'll be like version 2, version 3, and like every time I go to edit it, it's just a new document. I should probably stop that. However, I like to go back and see how things have progressed.
I had a short. I did that on Google Docs because I originally started writing everything on Google Docs. So it was all synced everywhere. I don't have to worry about nothing. It's great. Then I found Milanote, and I just transferred everything over there. So I literally had my first short story was called The Funeral. So I had Funeral version 1, then I had version 2, and then I had all the way to version 5. And then I was like, I'm just going to move version 5 over to Milanote and then just go from there.
So, potentially controversial question for everybody. Does anyone think pantsers can pre-plan, or is any form of pre-planning automatically get somebody kicked out of the pantser club? Because I used to be a pantser.
I mean, I pants my short stories, so I do both. So I can't kick anyone out of the pantser club.
I mean, that's fair. I'm just asking opinions. We will make no official ruling here.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if pantsing works for you, then a little bit of planning.
Because I used to pre-plan it in my head, but I never wrote it down. And so I was told that because I didn't write my plans down, that essentially just made me a pantser. And I'm like, but I literally wrote from beginning to end without writing anything but my draft. And it's like, nope, didn't do an outline. You're a pantser. And I'm like, okay, fine.
That's accurate.
So
I feel like having more than just like the basic idea of how the story is going to go is required to be a planner. Like, I think you have to like actually map out different arcs and like parts of the story and the B story and the like all of that stuff. I think has to be like super planned for you, in my brain, to be considered a planner.
Candy is a hardcore in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pantser. I guess it depends on what you mean by planning. A lot of pantsers have their planning in their head. See, that's what I was just saying, is that what I used to do. And then I started getting brain fog, and I became an outliner and note taker by necessity.
Because, like, for my shorts, especially because I pants them the first time, I will just, like, have, like, run through, like, the original idea, and I'll kind of just, like, do, like, a brief mental edit. I was like, oh, I actually like this idea if it moved over here first, and then I write that out.
I feel like even if you keep notes, you could still be a pantser, because you don't...
Yeah.
Like, even if you're keeping notes about things you want to happen in the future or something you don't want to remember, you're still not, like, planning every detail.
Right.
But planners don't necessarily plan every detail. And that's the thing. Like Chris just said, he thinks a pantser can have ideas and they just write, it's fine. But isn't everyone pantser in various degrees? The outline. Yeah. I've seen this opinion a lot. It's like, but like a pantser wouldn't stop and go chapter by chapter, event by event. See, but not all planners do either. And that's the thing. No. It's when I see planners talking about pantsers, it's with this idea that pantsers don't plan anything at all and just like go with it. And then when I see pantsers talking about planners, they talk about planners like they're writing a website, a Wikipedia encyclopedic thing of their story. And it's like neither of these are true from my experience being a pantser or a planner. And neither are true with my experience interacting with people who title themselves pantsers or planners. So, and I've recently seen a lot of people being like, well, I think all writers are really just plantsers, and it just depends on to what degree do you do the planning, and to what degree do you not do the planning. And I think I'm starting to agree with that mindset.
Yeah. Because, like, there's sometimes where, like, I have intuition where I'm like, I have this idea, but it's not working, and I don't know how to make it work. So I'm going to put it over here. I'll figure it out later. 3 months go by, and I'm literally just going about my day like, oh, I can get that idea to work. And then I just scream.
It can be done.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I just realized how to make that thing work. So, like, in essence, I guess it all depends on your own definition. I'd say I'm definitely a planter because there are some things I plan that other things I'm like, I'm just winging it, whatever.
I'm just here for the apple butter treaties and the trying to bring peace to the pantsers and the planners.
I'm just here for the baked goods. I hear Tiffany was doing this week.
I don't remember the author that said it, but it has to be someone that has like a. I'm pretty sure it's in one of Kate's I Tried Writing Like videos where they talk about being like a headlights writer, where they don't plan out the whole story. They just kind of know like what's coming up next. But then after that, they don't have a plan. So they just know what's like right in front of them. And then they'll figure out the rest as they get there. And I feel like that is more of like a definition, in my opinion, of a pantser. Like, you know, like what the next step is. But then after that, who knows?
Yes, I have. to reassure you, I did in fact have this written on my Milo note board. I was going to bring it up, but yes, just because you have a plan, also you don't have to stick to that plan.
Oh my gosh.
It is under your. So it's like Cody was saying with his planning stage earlier, is he'll plan a story, he'll write a story, and sometimes by the time his story is in its final draft, it doesn't look anything like the initial plan.
No.
So.
I can't tell me how many plans have been like, I really want this to work, but in the context of the story, it cannot work. And then it's just like, cool, I got to change plans because it's just not working.
I don't like planning every little thing out and sticking to that because it doesn't. Oh, okay. So that's why. Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I've been like,
reminder.
Yeah, just like, I'll have the plan in front of me. And then I'm like, what if I just add this to the plan and remove you?
Well, it's like, as an example, in my outline for my current whip, I was all like, and there's going to be a conversation, they're going to talk about this, and it's going to go this way. And then because I like to outline my conversations, I see you two dueling over there. Because I like to outline my conversations. The way the conversation, the dialogue went, I could not get my original plan to work at all. And I was just like, fuck it. And then I just like rewrote it the way that it was flowing well. And then one of my characters became a much smoother flirt than he had previously been. And I was like, oh, but I'm into this character development, so we're good.
I had that realization with a character too, where I was like, I like this character, but he's an enigma. But I know he has to exist.
Mystery.
But then him had gotten into an argument with like the love interest. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what kind of character you are from this dialogue, and I like it already.
Also, because we've sort of been talking about it for a little bit, and I don't know where else to segue this in. Story Bibles. Did anybody learn about those growing up?
Nope.
Because I don't really hear any people talk about story Bibles except like. Sorry, I got a chain stuck in my desk. I don't want it to break.
Oh, okay.
It's that, sir.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know that made it any better, but
I just hear a train stuck in a desk. I'm like, okay.
No, it's chain.
Oh, I heard train.
No, it's stuck. But anyway, I apologize. So yeah, a story Bible is essentially what all these like thought dumps and the folders is. It's like just this giant thing that contains all of your behind the scenes stuff, all of your like your concepts, your settings, your character descriptions, potential plot conflicts, any of your outline stuff, your pictures of your character, your Pinterest boards, your just basically anything that has to do with your novel would be considered your story Bible, because it's your guidebook to your story.
Mm.
And it's like, it's a term that I grew up hearing, and like I made story Bibles when I was a teenager, but it's a term that I kind of heard or stopped hearing really. And from what I see of a lot of people's creative processes, they essentially make their own story Bibles. It's just nobody calls them that. And so I was like, is this yet another old timey thing that I know of?
No. When I grew up, we were typically referred to it as a story binder instead of a story Bible. But if you look up story Bible on YouTube, like you know who the author tubers are, like the ones I'm talking about. They've all got story Bible videos, like all of the ones that aren't around anymore. So
do you know how little I know of author tubers?
I was gonna say, like,
right.
I literally watched like 3.
DM me names and then I will know.
But if you look up story Bible, like there's a lot of them.
All right.
And
Gotcha.
I actually have a video planned for, well, I've literally started talking about filming this video last year in like November, and I still haven't done it yet. But I have been planning a story binder video of like different styles and places that you can keep them, and like the pros and cons of all of the different styles. So they exist on AuthorTube.
Cody.
I don't know about anywhere else, but
DM me. Actually, Fox, make a Mila note memo that I need to link Jess's video when she makes it. I'm fighting at the moment.
You assume that Fox hasn't ran away.
I see him. I see him.
Okay.
Not to call you out, Fox, but I see you.
He is an ominous presence that exists within the shadows wherever I go.
So it's funny because I have 2 Mila notes open, mine in my own board, and then into the pre-writing one where all of us are. So I see shadows on my board. I'm like, who's in my board? It's people in the other board. It's like, I didn't know anyone was in here.
Just the fucking videos. Fair.
Man, the harshness.
So like, I see people in my board, and I'm like, why are you guys in here? How did you get in here? And it's not. It's just.
Oh, hi. Hi.
I have to share with chat what is going on over here.
I could live my whole life in there just chasing people's pointers around.
Listen, we were doing it. It was fun.
All this.
Y'all see what I'm witnessing out the corner of mine eyes? Just them going about.
Like, Jesus fucking serious.
Fox is like Sam's Friday. Yeah.
Because I was going to take a screen because for
You're talking about story. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, because my story Bible is my Mila note, of course, because this is where everything is. Like, a lot of my locations also have like, it's very Pinteresty in there, and I didn't realize that it was very Pinteresty in there.
If you want to share it, like
I'm about to make a screenshot and post it in there.
Okay.
Because this is the only one where I can like, give me a second.
Boop boop be doop boop.
Boop, boop, be doop.
You need crying emoji.
Why a crying emoji?
If you look in chat, you'll see why. I need someone with muscles and nimble fingers, and I only have one of those.
You only have one nimble finger?
It meant I lacked the muscles, but Which finger will I pick?
Okay. Oh, okay. I can't okay, because I can't post into the planning one. Okay,
Just
I will
DM
share
it to me. He's fine. He can go to his room. Oh my gosh.
Go to your room, Carl.
He came in here and he's yelling at me because the AC's on and my son is using a blanket. Sir, if it was Antarctica, I would not be in a tank top. This one! See, it's stuck in the desk. But I can't get it out. And I don't want it to snap.
Yeah.
Apologize for our technical difficulties that we are having.
This is not a technical difficulty. This is a physical difficulty.
Technically physical. Yeah.
Fair.
Fair. Technically physical. Or physically technical.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, now I must share this screen
Yes.
for Cody.
Because like this isn't even an area we're gonna be at a lot. This is just one area. And I was like, okay, cool. I have to get an idea. So I literally was like, very Pinteresty, who works here? What does it look like? Like, what does it look like on the outside? So my brain can be like, yes, this is where all the peoples go. And then
There's a lovely blueprint, and poor Sophie's not here to see it.
Oh, you want lovely blueprint? Hold on. I will show you a blueprint I made. I spent way too long in this boy, and it's the proudest thing I ever did. I'll even show you the original, too.
Fangs got moved down somehow.
Ooh.
Or got moved
It's
up.
because you typed
Who
more
moved
things in.
Whoops. I moved your fangs. It's fine.
You
Just
moved
doesn't
my
want
fangs.
to talk what with all those color difficulties. That's right.
This is blue.
At least it's my stream to fuck up.
Hold on, wait. That's pink.
I was about to start reading my intro instead of the
That's
next
the other
topic.
one.
Don't get loud over there.
I was about to start reading my intro again.
Those are green. Those are supposed to be blue.
Just discovering the magic of her yellow filter.
Yes.
This is purple. Like purple.
So, speaking of blueprints, this is the top one is a blueprint I made. The bottom one's the original.
Oh, that's cool.
So I literally was like, I want it to change. I don't know how to do that. Well, time to put in my drawing program and just change everything.
You're like this person. I've been watching drawfee videos to relax at night, and there's this one, Julia, and I was like, Julia, did you learn Blender?
Yes, I saw that one. I was like, honestly, I would do the same thing. Yeah, sounds very accurate. But yeah, so that's something.
We should go to the next talking point.
Ish.
We'll go to one of Cody's.
One of mine.
Yeah,
Well, we just talked. Well, I just kind of brushed on maps.
We went through like half of mine, but so. All right, the point says if you're stuck on an idea or something doesn't seem right, working on other parts of the story can help get ideas. Did you want to expand upon that?
So actually, I will. So for me, I was having a real hard time with the main character. So I'm like, he is the focus of the story, so he has to be right. The problem is, I didn't know the rest of the story. I only know him and like the brief bits of the story. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I have to work on something else. So I worked on some of the locations. Example, what we just saw. So that's where I was like, okay, cool. As I work on these locations, in the background, my brain's twirling like, how would the MC interact with this location? Why is he here? What's going on here? Who else is here? Then it's like, oh wait, this character interacts with this space. How would they interact with this space? And I kind of just branched off. So I slowly just would work on one location or work on one part of the story, run out of ideas there, work on another part. And as I'm working on another part, I gain ideas for the part that I ran out of ideas for. So they would start to be like, yes. I see you guys.
There's a piece of advice that I heard when I was younger. And it was because we had a creative writing special, like, I don't know, they did this weird block schedule my junior year, and we could take like special classes that were not previously offered. It's just the teachers decided, oh, I'm gonna teach this special thing. Creative writing was one of them. And one of the advice that they said in there was, if you're stuck on a story, don't stress, just redress. And it's basically the idea that you can come back to it later.
Yeah. Because that was my problem, where I'm like, I have to get him down in order for the rest of the story to work. Not realizing I needed the rest of the story to get him down, because then I need to know how people interact with him. So it was just like, oh. So now whenever I get stuck somewhere, I'm like, okay, time to move somewhere else.
Yes. What about you, Jess? What do you do when you get stuck during the pre-planning stage?
I don't get stuck. I am perfect and wonderful and
Turning my woo into a dog.
It's like, I don't get stuck. I get good.
I mean, I don't know that I like. I don't get stuck when I'm pre-planning, because if I don't know a thing, or if I don't like know, I just don't do it. Like,
you just move on to do another thing,
and I don't necessarily always go back, because I'm like, I'll just figure it out when I'm writing it.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just like, do I do that? No. If I need to know something, I am not going to be able to move on with my life. I can't go back and readdress. I just have to walk away from it for a while, and then my like subconscious unravels it. But
I do that too. I'm just like, currently, I don't want to say my work in progress is on a shelf, but it's just like, I'm not working on it right now because of the real life and work stuff. But like, as that process is like, my subconscious has ideas for other stories, so I'll just go into them, like drop them down.
That is the same way.
And then it's like, oh, main story idea, pop that in.
She's not colorblind. It's not her fault that the camera and her eyes are processing color differently. I have too much power. All right, so I have a question for chat, which was suggested, and therefore I have the idea written down to show chat how I would go about making a brand new Milo board for a short story, so that chat could see that process. Would chat be interested in that process?
Your co-host would be very interested in that process.
Cody's like, forget chat. I want to see it.
Who cares about chat? Give me.
But also, I would like to show chat this. This is from Fox, and that is from Fox.
Fox, I appreciate you so much.
My co-hosts have been very professional this whole time, not distracting at all.
What do you mean?
I let it be an outlining map problem, and if he can't get it, it's a drafting map problem.
Exactly.
And if drafting Matt can't get it, it's an editing Matt problem.
Very interested. Yes.
Why does your dog have 5 legs? Or is one of those a poo?
First of all, it was a woo with an exclamation point. I don't know. One of y'all turned it into a dog.
I did no such thing.
You cannot judge the number of legs it does or does not have, as if I made this decision.
As if I consciously did this?
So, for the record, the outlining process is still part of the pre-planning and the pre-writing process. It has its own little point. I was going to hit it a little later because I do know some people are pantsers or plantsers, and so might not necessarily outline. So just wanted to talk about stuff that everybody could talk about first. And then my outliners, we will have our time to shine because I'm biased. All right, so first, yeah, I'm within the thing. I would make a board, and the board would be named after whatever song inspired. Somebody throw out a song title. I'm going to regret this.
Hokey Pokey.
I was literally about to bring up my music playlist. Hold on a second.
She didn't even get out. I'm gonna regret this. I really didn't. There was not time.
We could do one hell of a team. That could be a good short. That could be a good short prompt, actually. Although I do like the hokey pokey.
All right. Hold on.
It's fine. You said a song. You didn't say it had to be a good one.
Hold on. I have plans, don't worry.
One hell of a hokey pokey. Oh my god.
So at this point, normally I would change the icon, but we're just going to change the color because it's an appropriate icon for the moment.
I was going to say it works pretty well.
My note has novel plan.
I use that one.
So
I actually made my own.
This one. You have all these things.
And then there's even more.
I don't use any of that.
Oh, I use so many.
Okay, so at this point, I would throw a giant note in the middle and then start plotting out my points. So it's like...
Is this like once more with feeling?
Yeah, no, normally there would be music too because I'm very musically inclined, hence one hell of a hokey pokey. So for this thought dump, we're going to have dancing for your life. There's going to be dance battles. We've got 2 teams right now. Team A, PB and J, Team A. PB and J Crunchy is going to be Team B.
Add it to the wiki.
Jess, which are you, Crunchy or Smooth?
I am Team Crunchy.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Cody Von Keller is going to be our team leader.
Hey!
Some facts about Cody. Chat, throw out some facts about Cody that we're going to want to keep.
He's straight.
I think you may have murdered Cody.
I just love every time you ask chat a question, just instant on it. She's like, I already got the answer. I don't know what she's gonna ask. I got it. It's my favorite.
Cody is straight. By popular demand, I'm gonna be straight.
Oh, I'm officially on Team Crunchy now.
And Arrow.
Dude's you proud, Cody.
Gonna make him an edgy edge boy, but also rainbows.
Edge boy?
This is how I make my notes, Jess.
It is.
Just see, this is legit how I make my notes. Like, I know this seems random, but it's not. It's
okay.
Witchy witchette. All right, everybody, throw out a fact about Jess that we're gonna put in here. Team Crunchy for life. He makes gay shit because straight people. Yes, that was his motto, but now.
But not anymore.
I make straight things.
He makes straight things because curves scare him.
Yes! I have an innate fear of curves.
Straight things because curves scare him.
There is that.
Loves cargo shorts.
Hold on, we're on. Jess needs a few facts. Witchy Witchette, total mess. Blue, green color.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, so that's enough for those 2 right now. We'll also make. There we go. Member B. Blah blah things stuff.
Blah blah things stuff.
Exactly that.
Member C. Other things, more stuff.
I thought you
said
details here. Like, this is also legit what I will do if I don't feel like coming up with more characters. I'll just be like, this, that.
I can't tell you how many times I put insert name here. It's like that's a future me problem.
Hiding in a dark alley, a rainbow spotlight appears. Music blares. Shadowy figures walk down the street. All right.
Snapping.
So, okay, I said stress. No, street. Snapping. So this would be like how I get the initial thoughts and everything down secretly, like smooth peanut butter is on Team Matt. All right. So then, now that I've got this, I would kind of move it out the way. And then I'll take this, and this is like tidbits. And we put that here. Let's see, this would go in tidbits. So we move that there. That would be in plot stuff. Okay.
I also just like watching other people's processes for doing things.
I can't move it over because the... there we go. Don't mind me, I'm just struggling.
I'm on a struggle bus, don't mind me.
Characters. Oh, no, this would be characters. Wait.
Characters.
God damn it, Josh, you made me question things. And then right here, I would put P, B, and J. Team A.
Otter.
No, we don't do that here. Member A, come back over here.
I'm sorry. I'm way too hyper. I don't know what happened.
You're fine. It's fine. We're good. But did I copy and not... Excuse you. Fuck off.
All right.
I was gonna say, you remember that secret plan to kick her off the stream when she joins? Yeah.
Crunchy Team B. I just hope everybody's even mildly entertained by this process, because at the moment it's just me moving text around.
It's fine because I'm telling funny stories and mouthing that one song about getting out of the way.
Hokey pokey.
One hell of a hokey pokey.
One hell of a
No,
hokey pokey.
not that one.
So that's where plot tidbits, and then like I would zoom out so I can't read anything, so that I can like organize things.
There's
and,
a zoom
like,
out feature.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold control in your mouse thing. So then I would do this, and this is the connect. I know this because I memorize things, not because I can actually see that.
Yep.
And like the plot things. What? Like, so this would be the basic thing. And then maybe at this point we want, hold on.
A purple hippo.
No.
In a tiara. No, a tutu.
I was gonna say in a tutu plus a tiara.
Both.
So can you two actually come into this board from the other board?
Oh, I'm sure we could.
I don't know.
I can. Whoa.
So.
Yep, I'm here.
I can comment only.
So we put the hokey pokey there.
What? I just zoomed.
Put the first emo edgy song that came to mind with lots of colors.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. You know what song I should have put? Hold on. I got this.
Ding 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 ding
Ding ding ding ding.
What are you two doing over
We're
there?
adults. We promise.
Zoom in to keep a better eye on YouTube.
We were doing this. We were having a hell of a hokey pokey battle.
Trying to remember what the song is called.
I'm gonna get you.
It's like dance, dance, falling apart to her time. Dance, dance.
Dance,
Ooh.
dance.
Is
I
that
feel
what
like
it's
I've heard
called?
that song.
Yeah, it's Fall Out Boy. Dance, dance.
It is.
So, like, got our musical inspiration there. Just flop it all.
Just me busting out songs from a.
Sir, I did not. All of you moved together.
I didn't do it.
No, you didn't do it. It did it.
It wasn't me. It was on me.
Exactly that. I just want to know, like, how into it were you if, like, she followed you all around the house with a video camera and you didn't notice?
Who?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
So yeah, and then like if you have critique partners, as I do, you can give them like access to come look at your board, and you can either let them edit your board or just let them see and do these things.
Where we can make comments.
And also they could just be like, if I can do it. No, I can't. So
I try to do
there
that.
we go. So
I don't know how to do that.
Then put. Oh wait, Mr. Team A himself. He should be over here. No, fuck that. It's very hard for me to do. Yeah, so that's an example of one way you can like toss things in there.
Hold on, I will do it. Maybe I just did it. Did it?
Flexing your ability to make the thing shrink. You have no idea how long I'll sit there and I'll be like, just for it to do that.
Oh, I'll do the exact same thing. No, exactly. Be like, get in there.
There's a button you can hit to make it do the number thingy, but I don't remember what the button is. I learned it one day and now I've forgotten.
Well, now we're back here.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
There was more done while of course there was more done while I was away.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Who would do that?
Why is there a circle here?
Because Cody's mouse was sitting there earlier and I put it in inventory.
I see.
I also may have tried to do the same thing earlier, but then gave up and erased it.
Professional.
So see, I was very professional. I made my talking points there. Yeah. Flexing my Zoom features. Does anybody have questions, comments, things that they want to share about their pre-writing process?
Concerns, inquiries, inquisitions, ideations, ideologies, interrogations.
I saw it just struggling to erase something.
I also saw it.
It won't let me erase.
It's because you already did it. You have to.
What do you
Only
mean?
I have the power to. Oh,
What
that's nifty.
You
have to double click it and then hit delete.
All right, so who here is an outliner?
No, my eyeballs. Rude. Mean. We're adults, we promise.
I don't know what that was, but it was great.
We
I want
discussed
another
it
one.
earlier. We said it was cool. Just agreed with you.
I want to do that too.
Which part was cool per se? The dog, the okay dad, the being the actual demonstration, the reason that I shared it.
Wait, there was
I
a
would like
demonstration?
specifics.
Yes. Did you?
Yes, I was just kidding.
Okay, good. I was gonna
I
say.
thought you were fucking with me, but now I'm not so sure.
Right. Whew. Okay, it's a fun time here. We have fun.
I'm sad.
Whew.
Living the dream.
So how's chat?
Thank you. Chat. At least one person in chat enjoyed the demonstration. And oh God, that's all I need.
Oh God is all you need.
No.
Oh.
Excuse me while I message my husband.
Did you do the thing again?
I need.
You redid the thing that he came and undid?
Oh no, never mind. I got it. Look, I fidget with things, and it's just there's this crack in the desk that's right there, and I need to like move it away from me. Fly, chain, fly.
Fly away, be free.
I outline, I'll pants a thought dump, and then I outline before I get too far ahead of myself. Yes, I I don't know how to not pants a thought dump
Yeah.
per se, but
You put a dump in your pants?
But I definitely do agree that that is how like I go about things. Agree. There was no.
No. Yes. Also agree.
I'm trying to pull myself back from all the things that have happened. Okay. I too do the thought dump and then start outlining all of the things. All of a sudden it's like Sam is too extra. Bruh.
I think
I'm
your kids are
server
better
mom.
behaved.
They're better behaved than we are.
Some days. Some days.
Woo. It's a fun time.
Chris just told me you gotta move it. I'm like, I moved it. It's fine.
I did.
I'm sorry, husband.
Who's clicking my eye? Get away from there.
It's
I am
me.
not.
Eyeball.
I'm not touching the thing.
And not high to the fly.
So do you two outline?
Yes.
I have not reached the point where I have enough stuff to outline. Because I thought I did, and then I started it. I have Act 1 outlined, and I know what I'm doing with Act 1. It's Act 2 and 3 that I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So how do you do your outline? Do you like do the big points from beginning to end, or do you just work from beginning and then, excuse me, go to end?
So my brain usually tends to work. It either is I'm with the original, like for my outline, like Act 1, I just do like the start of the act to the end of the act. Anything that may be like big stuff, like meeting the main character, meeting side characters. Like I have one that just says meeting Tristan, who's the main character, and then meeting Mathis, who was the old name of his dad that I need to change. And then just like any big scenes that happen, like going on a hunt, getting hurt, like things like that. They're just like the basic stuffs. Gotcha. And then I go from there.
From there.
Yeah, so I do kind of start with like the big stuff, but everything's just like, and then I go to like kind of smaller things, but everything's just like very vague.
Yeah, I do something like either similar or the same thing where I start out with after the thought dump, I will go through and get the big plot points and then do the smaller plot points in between, or just like depending on the story, sometimes I'll just put all the plot points that I have out, and then I will decide what is a big plot point and what is a small plot point.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I will see what I'm missing, like what areas are more sparse and what might need a little more touching up and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for my Act 1, it's just quite literally just like vague stuff, because Act 1 for mine is like relatively short, or at least I kind of want it to be shorter. So I'm just like, things are kind of happening a little bit quickly, so very vague stuff, and then I'm gonna expound on that later when I have everything all sorted.
Yes. What about you? Just you outline?
Yeah.
I have different versions of outlining for different stories. So like my contemporaries, I typically will just do like the basic outline because I don't have to like worry about working in any kind of like world building or monster creation or histories or things like that, because it's our world, so I don't have to worry about all those things. So it'll be like just basic outline with plot point, like actual bullet points. Some of like my larger stories, like my adult high fantasy I use Scrivener for, and I use either like K.M. Wayland or the Save the Cat Writes a Novel. Both of those have templates where you can like go through the plot points and match it up to your story points, which is a lot more involved. So it just depends on how much involvement the story needs.
I enjoy the Save the Cat one. I have like a beat sheet that is pretty much all of like pretty much I almost just copied word for word from Save the Cat, and then I just plopped it into mine. I'm like, yes. That way it'll help guide me.
I don't remember what the website is, but there is a website where you can, like, when you sign up for someone's newsletter, you can get the template that they made based off of the Save the Cat Writes a Novel. So it has like the 15 major plot points, and you can just use it in Scrivener and move things around, and like it explains to you like the percentages of how much of your book should be that specific thing, and explains what the thing is and things.
Things and stuff.
Stuff and things.
Me and Sam on the same wavelength. Things.
I'm looking at my notes now to see if... So are either of you Pinteresters? Chat, do you Pinterest? If you Pinterest, what kind of images do you look up for references for your like... And do you do that just in the pre-planning, or will you do that during pre-planning and drafting?
I'm currently not a Pinterester. I tried Pinteresting in like the very beginning when I just had like an idea and I didn't know what I was doing.
Other imagey things also count.
But
as long as it is image gathering.
Image boards.
But as of recently, like all of my locations, I pretty much turned them on to like little Pinteresty mood boards. Like I have a forest setting outside of my town. I literally just looked up like most popular trees in this area, and now it's just like a giant Pinterest board just inside of Milano, and I use Google Images. So as of recently, yes. In the very beginning, no.
It depends again on the story and on the thing. Like I have in the past, because I started writing 15 years ago, I would just pull up like different Google image searches, but back then I think we were doing Yahoo image searches because Google wasn't quite so big back in the day.
Dating yourself, Jess. Dating.
It's fine. I am as old as I am. And I'll look up different things as far as like if I'm trying to like get an idea of like if I have a place in my head that I can think of, like that I'm thinking of, I'll try to like find something with an actual image of that to put in so that I remember it. Or like a character face or like a description. I'll try to find someone like that wears that style of clothing if it's something that's not like contemporary, things like that. But I don't do mood boards per se where like you find things that like have the vibe for that. Like that's too much work for me.
I should do that. Like as Jess like that's too much work. My brain's like, ooh, I should do that.
Too much, Cody. Yes.
I think it's procrastination.
So Jenna looks up face claims.
Like I said, I spent 4 hours working on a blueprint.
So while I wish to maintain that I don't think there are certain parts of the writing process, like the pre-planning is definitely one, where I don't think there is a right or wrong way to do it. And whatever you need to gather all of your creativity before you start writing is writing. But there are some things that once you start drafting, if you continue to do those, then I'm more in line with you that it becomes procrastination. But it's one of those things where I wouldn't want to make a general statement about it because like it could also just be somebody adds a character in and now they want to go make everything for that character that they have for all the other characters. So but there's definitely people I see who are doing things and then it's like, yes, this counts as writing. And I'm like, but do it. Because it don't seem like you do.
I consider it procrastination for me because I know I'm doing it to procrastinate. Now, I know there are people that need those types of things in order to make it work for them. And if that's what you need to do to make the story or to make the plot or whatever it is that you need, that's fine. But for me, it's procrastination because it's me procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's really important to like know about yourself too and to be honest with yourself about.
Yeah, because this is my first book ever, so I'm still trying to figure out what works for me and what doesn't. I just recently learned, like, looking up images of, I have a Coney, so I really looked up images of a diner, and I was like, oh, this actually works. Okay, let me add all these to my diner board. Oh,
she was going where she isn't supposed to go again, so now she's being punished.
I didn't go anywhere.
Are you just embodying the cat today, Just? You're just with her every time I yell at her. You're like, I didn't do it.
I did nothing, I promise. Yeah.
Remember that stream that was like, Pinterest is writing. Writing is writing, definitely. If you need to look up Pinterest or something for inspiration so you can like get out of a slump or something, it's still not writing, but it's working if that's working for you. But
I say I'm working on it. I'm not currently writing it, if that makes sense. Because I know the difference between writing, like if I'm working on a scene, it's like, yes, I'm currently writing out the scene.
I will disclaim I can be a very pedantic and picky bitch, though. Like, I hate gatekeepers, but I am not above admitting there are some things when I'm pedantic about it. And I'm like, that is not the definition, or that is not what that is.
Right.
But I rarely judge anybody on it. I'm just... picky with the wording. Excuse me. Are any of your stories affected by current events? I tried to thought dump and outline my book 2, but then COVID hit, and since book 2 was set to take place in 2020, I had to scrap most of my ideas. So for me, no, because even when I write contemporary, I lean towards contemporary fantasy or not stated frame of time. So, because I just want to do what I want, even when it's on Earth. I'm just like, fuck it. It's my alternative history. It's my alternative present.
No, I don't either. I only have a timeline for literally ages and like birthdays. And that's just so I can know their age and or birthday. It has nothing else to do with the story. So like mine just happens to be set in 2019. I didn't plan for it. It's just like when I did all the math, like, oh, it's 2019. Okay, cool. So, no.
The only time that I really look at, like, the year having anything to do with the story planning itself is when I'm naming characters in contemporaries specifically. Because I want to try to find names that you would actually see someone being given when they were born. Like, I'm not going to use names from 1950s. I mean, you can, but I don't want to use like the 2 most popular names from 1950 for people who were born in 2002.
You can name anybody Samantha, and it fits for every decade since the like 1900s, I think. Just so everyone knows, just throw.
I was also going to say, I know an artist or an author that I really like. Most of her characters' names are very unique. There's a character called Forrest. There's another one called Mercy, short for Mercedes. And they're both dudes. So it's just like, name whatever you want. But yeah, I would also...
we're talking about our own stuff, though.
No, sorry. My brain.
But also, I was just throwing that out there for anybody who wants to use Samantha, because...
Yes. It's her stream.
My fantasy names are so over the top as far as like having like old Irish or Gaelic names that when I write contemporary, I want them to be like in the top 25 most popular names for that year.
I mean, I could
Because I'm so far out on these names that no one's going to be able to pronounce.
You
I have
gotta
to
keep
balance
a
it.
balance.
Yeah.
I will say I love the name Edith, and I know it is an older name, and like when I see it in contemporary now, it's specifically so a person can be like, yeah, I have a grandma name, and a lot of people don't like that name, but I just really love the name Edith.
Yeah.
There is a book that comes out this month or next month, and I believe the main character's name is Edie.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. I'm gonna look
Just
it up now.
for my next short story that takes place in like the deepest fantasy I can conjure with the main character Edith, the great sorceress. Sorry, my brain, Cody, aka the most relatable statement ever.
Yes. It was just my brain just somehow went on the tangent. I was like, oh nope, gotta derail this.
Well, it's because like we're listening, but while we're listening, another part of our brain is like doing other things, and then we're like, yes, I have this point that is adjacent to what you were saying.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
It is Edie in Between by Laura Sibson, a modern day practical magic about love, loss, and embracing the mystical.
That sounds right up my alley.
It's on my to read list on Goodreads. I was like, I have to read this, but her name's Edie, and that's what that reminded me of. So.
If it's not in my library.
I've
already bought 2 books this month.
It came out in August, so
maybe. The Heart.
Yes.
All right. There was, let's look. Tasklisk, Cody. It says Tasklisk are your best friend. Why do you make such a bold statement?
Because for me personally, because speaking of my brain, I forget to do things. Like I had, like for example, I have task lists in every single board of general stuff I have to do to make this board complete. So it'd be like, oh hey, did I add a cafe where my characters like to go? No, I should make a task list. So when I'm thinking of stuff I have to do, oh look, I have to make a cafe.
So in this context, yes, in this context, you mean you complete me so much love in chat. You're saying that you make a task list of things that you need to plan out for your
either stuff I need to plan out or things that I have an idea for right now but need to do later but actually do it. Because I have plenty of notes where it's just like, add so-and-so to here. But did I really add so-and-so? Instead of me going into and finding if I added so-and-so, it's just a general task list that I was like, yes, I did. So I can delete that from the task list.
So I think I do a different version of that, but instead of having a task list, which I know everyone's like, Sam, not make a task list? But instead of doing that, I just put like parentheses, insert such and such here, and then like I control F the word insert and find all the things that I needed to do.
You know, I should probably do that too. Because I have a lot of insert name here, and I've forgotten where a good of them are. I don't know where they are. Or like I'll make links to like boards. It's like, oh hey, dum don't forget to add this here later. Okay, goodbye.
I put in parentheses but also highlight so I can like zoom out and just scroll through and find the highlights.
Yes.
It's also another good idea.
I just forgot that I do that.
I don't highlight.
I never have like a specific like word that I can search because it's like the weirdest, most like I'll have 3 pages of a note of something in the middle because I'll have a thought and then the whole thought goes on a tangent. And then at the end, I'm like, well, that was 3 pages of fun. I'm counting those words and then move on with my life.
That's toward my productivity today.
I mean, I wrote them.
Yeah, so for me, task lists help me plan because sometimes I'll be like out and about either at work or say I'm just doing something else and I'll remember like, oh, I should add this thing later. I have to add this or my brain will just remember, oh, hey, we didn't make a cafe that they go to. We should probably do that. So I'm like, task list to do, add cafe. Boop.
I will say when highlighting, I recommend picking a color that catches your eye specifically, because I can, for some reason, tune out yellow highlight. I can just scroll past it. Yellow means nothing to me except that it turns everything blue in Jess's room green now. See, I knew you were going for this, Taquito. So, but like green and blue, those colors really stick out to me when I'm going down. So I will often use one of those two. Sometimes also the fuchsia. I only use the fuchsia if it is an utmost emergency that I address this quickly, because I cannot stand the way that it looks. So it's like a little trick to motivate me to do what I needed to do there and move on with my life.
I should start doing color coordinating things, or just like things to look at, things to like really edit. This is emergency. Like, we gotta do this now.
Do this one right now.
Do this one. ASAP.
That's what the fuchsia's for.
I'd probably have it be for the fuchsia, because the yellow I can tune that one out. I see so many yellows. I'm just like, zoop.
I think it's because I've used yellow to highlight since I was a small child.
Well, I use Kindle for all my reading, and all my highlights are yellow.
Oh.
So when I go back and reread it, I just read through the yellow. Then I'll be like, why did I highlight you? I should also color coordinate those.
All right. So multiple projects. Where does everybody stand on that? Because as I showed everyone, I have quite a few thought dumps. Like, those are just the thought dumps that I put on Milanote, and I had enough to organize there. But I would not consider any of those my projects, because I'm not actively working on any of them. I just got my idea down, got all the related details I had. Yes, one of them has a rough outline, but I was very motivated for that thought dump. And I'm not actively working on it, though. It was just to get it out of my system. What's everybody's stance on multiple projects? Cody, just chat.
So, in one of my points is about multiple topics or multiple projects, because I have multiple projects.
Yes, I know.
And
it's like I took your talking point.
made it a question. Oh my god.
Your next talking point.
For me, I like them because I have, like I said, I have 15 boards. That maybe eventually be books, maybe not, who knows. And then I just have writing shorts, because as I'm working on my main, which is the furthest, I get ideas for other things, and sometimes I can't get through the other thing until I get it out, so then I can go back to the main. So for me, it's like, oh, I'm stuck on my main. Well, I have some ideas for this project. I can go work on this. And while I'm working on this, my subconscious will just like work its way through whatever process it's got to get through. And I'm like, all right, cool, go back to the main. So I'm not actively working on anything other than my main, but it's just like, oh man, I'm stuck here. I have ideas for this one and this one and this one. I'll work on these three with those ideas. And then by the time I'm done, usually I'm back on my main. If that makes sense.
It do.
Oh, good.
I have no rules or regulations. I have way too many projects at all times, and 90% of the time I'm not working on anything at all. So, don't take my advice.
Jess is a wild and free spirit that does not recommend her particular craft style.
Other than saying, do as I say, not as I do. I have learned over the past year to cap my ongoing projects, like the things that I'm actually working on, to 3, because you can be in different stages of all 3 of those things at different times. So if I feel like drafting, I can draft. If I feel like editing, I can edit. If I feel like writing, I can write. But as far as any of the other 30 plot bunnies that I have, I just write them down, put them in the folder, and move on with my life, because otherwise I will have 30 projects going on at one time, because I like to be crazy like that.
Same. So that's why I am also the person I have to limit the active projects I have, because I have my main, and then I have the 1 or 2 side projects that just cycle through.
Yeah.
Because I'll get a new idea and it's like, ooh, I want to work on this for a little bit. And then until I drain all the ideas for that, and then I just move on.
So I have 2 answers for this question. Healthy Sam, sick Sam. So Healthy Sam can keep up with all of her critique partner's needs. She can work on her writing at least weekly, if not more. Healthy Sam is great, and when she like needs a little bit of a break from her main project, might play with a short story here or there. And during, say, when a draft is finished and I'm waiting on critique partner feedback, or I'm waiting on betas to get back to me, I could pluck away at a whole other story or everything and like work on 2 novels at once. Because similar to what Jess was saying, is being in different stages. I'm not very good at I am not very good at waiting for other people. So while I am waiting for, yes, you can have that. Bring me the tea.
What's
It is
the
a
tea?
gallon in the fridge. Ask Daddy to help you. She's
The
like,
big boy.
well, nobody can have tea until I am brought the tea.
Damn. And that's the tea.
Tight ship in this house.
So, like, in order to kind of help me be patient while I wait on other people's feedback and everything, I would work on another project. Sick Sam, however, has both as symptoms of my migraines, fatigue and brain fog. For those who don't know what medical brain fog is it basically debilitates to varying degrees your cognitive abilities. So basically your cognitive and communicative abilities. So it's like thinking, talking, writing, going into the kitchen to get a drink and then standing in front of the fridge because you don't remember why you came into the kitchen, let alone that you're thirsty. Stuff like that. And so that makes writing and critiquing difficult because you're like reading the same paragraph 4 or 5 times and you just don't remember what you read. So I can't even focus on like my project and a CP's project. I have to choose one right now. So like right now I'm critiquing for a critique partner and that is all of my focus. I actually have to put my outline and my short stories and stuff to the side in order to do it. Thank you, my love. The children have forgotten what tea is.
Blasphemy.
Mine's right here.
I have water.
Somebody named Wendy brought me mine.
Oh, sounds nice.
Thank you. So the ability to work on like multiple projects does vary greatly individual to individual for a lot of different reasons. And I've seen people who like successfully work on quite a few series at once. And then I've seen people who claim to successfully work on quite a few series at once, but they never actually get anything finished or done. And so it's like, maybe you should take I know, Cody, I know. Maybe you should take a break and take a good, long, hard look at yourself and figure out which one you actually are. Just so...
I leave for 5 minutes to go look at my board so I can get references. I come back to this.
I'm just trying to have a serious talk about multiple writing projects.
I have idle hands.
It's fine. I just wanted to share it with chat because it was a thing of beauty.
Yeah. I was also discovering Milanote has a few more things like color tabs and audio stuffs that I was just also I just discover things on Milanote just by literally clicking buttons.
I swear we support whatever you use to organize your thoughts and stuff. We just also have a lot of fun.
Yes. Yes.
The Milanote
writing
just put in the color swatches like last week.
I just updated to 3 point something. We're not in
Yeah.
2 point anymore. We're in 3 point.
I never know until I load it up and I'm like, ooh, there's new things. Like, what does this do?
They email me.
I went
Because I
to
signed up
put
for the
in,
notifications.
I went to change the colors for the thumbnails for the Writeathon. Like I keep like a picture with like the different colors and the color hex codes.
Mhm.
And I was like, I can do a color swatch. So now I have color swatches in there.
And then she left them in a pile.
I artistically placed them over top of one another in like a really cool pattern, and then Sam went in and like separated them out and made a fucking pyramid.
Look,
I probably would have done the same thing.
I was like trying to show how like very like varying degrees of what should go next to one another and how pretty they looked, like this color up against this color, and how pretty they look when you put them side by side. And Sam's like, this one here, this one here, this one here. Why the fuck are these touching?
no, why the fuck are these touching is so accurate though.
I was gonna say that sounds extremely accurate, actually.
I went in there and I was like, what the fuck? Why are these all piled on top of each other? No. I need to see them distinct.
You know what's also super funny?
Artful things.
This entire time, I've been looking at your entire board, and some things are not lined up right, and my brain's just like, I have to line them up. I have to line them up. No, it's not my board. I can't line them up, but I really want to line them up.
No, they're great.
So I get it. I get it, but like, I get it. It's just like
they're grouped like, and they're mapped, and if they were all symmetrical, then the groups wouldn't organize properly anymore, and I wouldn't be able to see at a glance what went with what.
Yeah.
There are forms of organization that are more efficient than just being in a row.
I'm sure.
How aligned most of my boards are.
I'm sure. It's just how my brain was just like, I just want to. But like, again, it's just the difference of you and Jess. Like, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Spread it. Just like my pile.
Like, if she ever has a problem with things I do in the Mila Note board, she'll let me know. I'm
sure.
There's a fucking like, pyramid in here.
I just love the idea of Jess just going in to have a good day. Like, I'm just load up the board.
I did that like a week or two ago, and this is the first time I'm here.
At first, I was like, "Did I do that? I would never do that. There's no way I did that." And I was like, "No, I put them on top of each other in like this really cool pattern." So that like I could see the colors next to each other. I did not do that.
Okay, but look how pretty it
is. I just imagine
this not my work.
Just loading up Milano, like, oh man, I'm about to have a good day. Seize this. All right, who chose violence? Because I did.
Look. But isn't that pretty?
It's so pretty.
See, it's so pretty.
I will agree, it's very pretty.
Mine and my my YouTube board piled on top of each other.
I would show you my YouTube board. However, I cannot show you my YouTube board because I'm not allowed.
I was given the keys for a whole week, and I ratted myself out, and I got kicked out of the castle. Which is not a dig towards anyone who decided to do that, because they have their own, they're perfectly valid in their choices, and I agreed that it was a good decision. I just think it's really funny. I had the keys for a whole week, and I knocked myself out, and I got kicked out.
So I got confused on how to do a thing. I fixed it though.
You deserved it.
Yeah. I cleaned up after myself. I did my own dishes. I left no mess.
An important point, world building. Since we're talking about pre-planning and the pre-writing part, excuse me, I'm dying. And Jess brought up earlier that she doesn't pre-plan as much for contemporary because less world building. I swear, all I'm drinking is tea and I'm burping up a storm. So, how much world building does everybody think is too much world building before you start writing?
So
When does the world building disease kick in? Oh, ye of 8,000 blueprints.
So, a fun story. I completely forgot people existed in the town outside of my main cast. Upwards of, I don't know, 2 months ago. And I've been working on this book for over a year now. So, I mean, for me, I don't really have the world building bug. Like some people who do. I don't know how to get it. I kind of want it for like a little bit. But a very wise person told me, and I will take this advice to heart. Every day of my life, I think about it all the time. Sometimes too much world building can put you in a hole if you come up with a good idea later that you can't write yourself out of. Or you could, it'll just be really... The readers would notice. So,
Who was the person who said that?
I don't know, Sam. Who would be that person?
Look, it sounds like me, but I don't want to be that egocentric. Was it?
It was you. It was you.
Like, this very much sounds like a thing I would say. But
Yes.
I've got brain fog. Don't test me, sir.
Because we had this conversation where I was like, I don't know how much world building I should or should not do. And that's when you told me that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That sounds very accurate. Because I don't have the world building bug.
I believe that the limit does not exist. Because I feel like even in a situation where you have a whole bunch of world building, if something needs to change, it can change. But I also think that you can figure things out along the way. So it's whatever you need to be comfortable to write the story. Because everybody's going to have a different level of comfort
So
and feeling prepared.
I mostly agree with you. With
But
one
it's that
caveat.
procrastination thing again.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I was about to say. I was like, with one caveat, and it goes back to like the like gathering information and pictures and stuff. And it's when your world building becomes your procrastination instead of things you need to write.
Yeah.
Then it's too much.
I think it was also in one of Jenna's videos too that I saw about world building.
Josh, we're gonna change the world though.
It was one of Jenna's videos about world building where she was just like, so when are you gonna write the book? Because you doing world building isn't you writing the book, buddy. When are you gonna write the book? And I was like, you're right, Jenna. When am I gonna write the book?
Cody's like, you're right. Tuesday I'm writing.
Yeah, like
Tuesday work for you.
Tuesday work for me.
No, not soon enough. Sunday.
How about in an hour? Yes.
Tuesday's tomorrow. How is Sunday a little closer than Tuesday?
Because I wasn't actually thinking of the day today. Her
I wasn't
videos come out on Wednesday.
Me and Sarah are the same length. Jess is like, but it's Monday.
She makes more logical sense using today as our term of measurement, but I was
just on a whole other.
I was on a magical day.
Me too.
Monday.
That doesn't exist.
How is Tuesday sooner than Sunday? Did you guys have a time machine? Are you holding out on me?
Maybe.
I mean, we did talk about circle portals earlier, but it's a whole other conversation.
They were not specifically circles, Cody. Don't limit my portals.
You did say teleportation circles.
What? Yes, you can have tea now.
So is that clip blue or green?
Blue.
Okay. It's also interesting. They're all the exact same shade of green.
Probably because they're all the same shade of blue.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
That's what I was like. How are
These
they?
are not even close to being the same color.
Well, the one is darker than the other.
When they're separate, I was like, oh, they look the exact same.
Is it green screen?
Oh.
You see how it's like
Pixely?
Oh, that does look like. Do you have your green screen on? Green screen
I'm
for blue.
curious now.
Is that secretly what it was this entire time?
One half of what makes up James A. Corey just world built the Expanse world, and the other was like, man, I'm just gonna write the book with this stuff you got. In case no one knows, James A. Corey is a pen name or whatever of two people who were. Oh, cool. Okay, so James A. Corey is two people, and one person did all the world building, and the other person did all the writing.
Okay. Was it the green screen?
I think so.
The blue is back. It is fixed. I usually think of the inhabitants of a world or city and how they behave and how they think of themselves. And then I can imagine the kind of town, village, mega city they live in. I don't go into it. See, for me, I world build enough to be able to do my outline. And then I just, are you having fun now?
She found the magic button.
I told you it wasn't me.
Okay. We believed you. We just didn't know. We believed they were blue. We just.
I'm so excited. Okay.
We could not cooperate with you. All right. But
The evidence that we had, it was green.
Oh, I'm so so much of my life has changed.
But like, yeah, I just world build. I kind of do the same thing where I world build enough to get my story going.
So Chris thinks once you figured out the plumbing issue, you need not world build anymore.
I mean,
That's fair.
when you're getting down to the plumbing, you're done. Just start writing your story. So what I was gonna.
Only thing you need to know about plumbing is that poop runs downhill.
oh,
It's good to know.
I'm a plumber, so I know these things.
oh,
Candy says I don't go too much world detail unless it's important. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I world build enough to be able to write my outline until I am satisfied with my outline, and then I start drafting my story.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, with Murder, I world built like the basic world. I knew what the hunters were. I knew how the Empress sort of came to power. I knew why she was in power. And I world build like 3 gems and what their powers are, and then I knew what the rest of the gems were, which was fun when people were like, "What do all the gems do?" And I'm like, "Oh, they weren't in the story."
Right.
They don't exist.
Yeah, because for me, I guess I watch a lot of Jenna's videos, so I'm a little bit biased.
But where does the poop go? In a poop hole? The poop valley.
The poop tunnel.
Everyone, your
That's where it
assignments,
comes from.
The poop tunnel.
your assignments today before the next Let's Talk is to let me know where the poop in your stories goes.
No.
Don't actually do that. I'm
Too late. Already have it
kidding.
written down. Yeah, so where I world build enough. I don't need to know, because basically I have 2 organizations. Both of them are and they have 2 leaders. I don't need to know the entire childhood of both leaders, realistically. Unless I'm writing a story about them, but if I am, I can get to that later. Before right now, I don't need to know everything about them.
Cody, don't you want them redeemable? Their
Who says
backstory.
Who says they have a tragic backstory? Who says they're evil?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
They're people.
I mean,
Taking
What am
over
I-
your world building.
one of my favorite characters, although there's a side character I really do like. Basically, she's just an old lady that slowly steals the soul, the life force out of people by giving them hugs. And she stores it in her lamp that she carries around.
She's like softcore succubus there.
Yeah,
She's like
and her name-
Baba Yaga.
and her name is Mama Letty.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah, it's just like this tiny old woman, and she carries her little state, and every time you give her a hug, she just steals a little bit of your life force, which is keeping
Is
her
she
alive.
a miracle chicken?
I don't know what that is.
I love that he laughed like he had it, and then he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no
He
idea.
saw my excite and he was suddenly terrified to continue pretending. Go
Yeah.
watch the Let's Talks Vampires. We will
Okay.
not tell you what
We'll pause while you go watch the whole 3 hours.
Okay, hold on. Yep.
we'll
mhm.
wait.
Loading
3
up right
hours
now.
later.
Let's talk. Aha, I see.
While we were talking, I kind of had this
Hold on,
idea.
Cody, you have access to like all of my Let's Talk notes. I just send them to you. The Miracle Chicken is in the vampire one.
It is. Yeah, you do send me all your notes and just like review.
Woo! I had a thought while we were talking about like how much like world building do you need? Like
Yes.
what's the important stuff? So what if like you think about the important things of your world building being like if you were buying a house. Like you would want to know what the population is as far as like their money situation.
There's a thingy that Sophie always recommends. It's called Grapes, which is like geography, religion.
Agriculture. I saw one.
I typed in grapes into Google and it just gave me the wiki for food grapes.
Great.
I think I have it saved to my Instagram actually because I saw that and I was like, ooh, that makes sense.
Yes. Damn you, I cannot. I know P is politics.
I think S is spirituality.
No, because ours religion. Maybe it's just grape. Grape writing an acronym stands for.
Did I not save it? Oh no.
Geography, religion, achievements, politics, economics, and social structures.
Ah, yes.
That hurt my brain.
I'm going to post it and pin it.
But I was just thinking of like, if you were looking at buying a house, you would look at like the people that you would be moving around. Like, what is it like, you know, a slum that's about to fall off the side of the state? Is it like highfalutin rich people? Like you would look at that aspect of it. You would look at the schooling system, like what kind of school is around, what kind of seasons do they have? Like, are you moving to another state where like it's freezing ass cold all the time, but you don't like the cold? Like you would look at that kind of stuff if you were looking at purchasing a house.
Mm-hmm.
And those might be just the things that you need, like as a just enough.
I don't have the vampire notes. I have the fantasy notes.
Give her a minute.
yeah.
This is good when you buy a house. Then when it comes down to it, looks like some of your plumbing is a touch old and your water heater is close to dying.
Exactly.
Is Chris in a mood? He really likes plumbing right now.
Our plumbing, we're fixing a lot of our plumbing, and literally we bought our house, we moved in, and 2 months later our water heater died, and insurance covered the water heater, but it was like not up to code anymore, so we had to pay out of pocket for the code.
Yeah.
It was a time, Cody. It was a time.
I bet. Very similar to my boss. She has a very similar story. She had to do her dishes in the bathtub. It's a fun time.
We're not there yet.
Perfect. I see.
Not get there. All right. So I believe we hit on everything then. Is there any?
1 second here.
He found the miracle chicken.
No, it says welcome to Knob Knob Bloodsucker Demon Witches.
Oh.
I was gonna search for a miracle chicken because I'm not searching through this bitch.
It's all the way over on the right.
Oh, perfect. Sweet, thanks.
Excuse me.
The miracle chicken.
Where I appreciate the fact that Jess knows how to navigate my notes.
I found it too, so it worked.
All right. Is there anything else that chat or you two would like to discuss when it comes to the pre-planning portion of writing a story?
Let me go back to my notes.
Cody's like, let me look at the miracle chicken later.
Yeah, miracle chicken. We could
Let me
relate
look
later.
at Cody's notes because I don't have any. Oh, my point. I have a point.
She has 1 point.
No, there's two.
Things.
I see
Plural.
just one. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. I'm sorry, I lied. There's 2 points. And they're very sharp.
Oh, so there was something that there was a reason I drew the eye here, actually. Because in like when I had a notebook and stuff, I would often, write my notes and then I would just doodle on my thing, and I did a lot of eyes, noses, working on lips and stuff. And then this is also very true to how my notebooks looked, coincidentally. Just my friends also drawing all over them, so I just
And posting memes on it.
more eyelashes were added to my eye when I was not looking.
I work fast.
I didn't do it.
It was me.
Wasn't me.
It was me.
Aren't you two supposed to be looking at Cody's notes?
I
Yeah.
did. I think we tackled all the things on my notes. I mean, I think we said it earlier, but the only thing that I think we didn't really tackle is the way your story starts and the way your story ends during this process is going to be completely different, most likely. Just work with it, let it flow. I fought one particular scene that was the original scene for a good 2 months. And then I just learned it didn't work. And once I figured it didn't work and figured out how to make it work, so many more ideas just came flooding.
Usually if it doesn't work, there's a reason it doesn't work.
Yep. And if it just doesn't fit, and sometimes you don't realize it doesn't fit until something else comes and you're like, oh, this actually doesn't fit. And I wanted it to. Ooh, you don't fit. Okay, well, you have to change you.
Get out!
So a point that I didn't think to add to the notes, but that I just thought about is I know a lot of people do the pre-planning phase by themselves, but I find I have a lot of fun talking to somebody about like my thought dump or my ideas, and especially when I have a lot of scenes that I want to write. It is not unusual for some of my friends to just wake up to scene excerpts that I sent them at 3-4 in the morning, because I'm like, oh my god, look at how cute my couple is being, and they're just like, what am I shipping now? Or to just like, throw ideas back and forth and stuff. Like I sent the story concept to one for Murmurder to one of my CPs, and then I sent the outline to them, and then I was like, and here's my refined outline, and now here's my first draft. So like, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it solo, and a large part of mine I also do solo. I just wanted to throw it out there that it can be fun to enjoy that part with a CP or a friend who's very interested and supportive.
I've done that with you.
Yes.
We've done it before streams. I'm just I don't know how to get this to work, and you're just like, well, have you thought of this?
Tell me. I have laundry to fold, but I can...
Yes. Yeah, especially with like the organization of like one faction and another. I was just like, I don't know how to make them the same but different. And you're just like, yes, I got you. Here you go.
Here's your options.
And I was like,
organization, and I was thinking of Oregon.
And
I was just like, why the fuck are we in Oregon? I don't understand.
This is like, why are we going? Are you okay today?
Are we on the Oregon Trail? Do we have dysentery? Are you trying to tell me something?
It's like Chris is obsessed with poop today. All right. I think we're
sorry,
good.
I've lost it.
I think it's time. So it's fine. All right. So let's go ahead and do our outros. I know, Jess, you're looking so forward to it. Your favorite part of the stream.
In reverse order.
Okay. Bye. Yes. I have a face. I have a YouTube channel where I post reading, writing, book, and planner related things a few times a week. Sometimes I have live shows on Fridays, sometimes randomly on Saturdays, because I don't know what I'm doing with my life. That's all I got. Peace.
Okay, cool. Sweet. I get moved. Well, I'm down here now. Guys, my eyes are down here.
Look, I have order needs. Y'all
Your
can
eyes
go
are-
in whatever order you want to go. I'm putting you. I'm putting you.
Are they just
No.
looking at your forehead and you want them to look down a little lower?
Well, I was upright. Now I'm down in the middle. So what happened? Anywho, at least on my screen. Anywho, hello, hi everybody. My name is Cody Keller. I'm a gay creator who makes gay shit straight people have had too good for too long, and I'm sure everyone's gonna quote it every time I'm on stream now. Anywho, I'm currently working on my debut novel about witches and werewolves and what happens when wolf hunters find a werewolf in their midst, and other things. Yeah, follow me on social media where we discover this wide world together. And that's it.
Speaking of the wide world, we have the worldwide Writeathon that will be in October the 22nd through the 24th.
Yes.
Look, you can follow our Instagram and all of that. The links are down below if you want to maybe join for that. There will be a lot of writing sprints as well as some chat sprints, which will have topics like ghost stories. What were the other two that we have?
Marketing.
Marketing for authors specifically, and there's a third one. Medieval weapons and armory in the armor in the fantasy genre.
How many purples does it take to get a green?
40.
And I am Writing Mom Samantha L. Nasset. This is my channel where I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. On Mondays, I host live streams like this where we talk about whatever I want to talk about and we have a good old time. And sometimes, like next week, we do writing sprints where we will chat and also try to be productive. On Thursdays, when I can make videos, that is where I post them, which, if you were not here at the beginning, I post sporadically because of chronic illness and brain fog. It's a fun time. You can read my short story, Until Pizza Do Us Part, on my website, samanthaalnasset.com, where, if you would like to keep up to date with all things Sam, you can sign up to my newsletter. If you like this, you like everything that I do, you can help to support the channel by donating to my Ko-fi, which is linked down below. Cody.
Oh, give Sam money. I was distracted.
Apparently.
Give Sam money.
Well, thank you, everybody. Oh, also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the live stream if you would like to, be able to know the live streams and the videos when they pop up.
Smash that like button.
Thank you for watching today. Doesn't get invited to the
That's what distracted me.
So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for sharing your processes, and we'll catch you later. Bye.
Goodbye.